Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody has had a good night. Everybody slept well, got plenty of rest. I am conscious. For those of y'all that know me, for those of y'all that don't know me, I am conscious. So I'm blessed to be with y'all today, this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and start off. So today I'm going to talk about something. I'm going to talk about something that's different. Today I'm going to talk about only you can save your marriage. It starts with you first. I'm going to say that again. Only you can save your marriage. It starts with you first. That's what we're going to talk about today. So, so this subject came to me today because, I was asleep and, God had just gave the subject to me. And, I was like, why would why should I do this subject? Like, what was the reason why? I couldn't figure it out, couldn't understand why. But then I just thought, you know what? I know I can do this topic, God, because I know why you want me to talk about this, because I went through something recently, and that's exactly why. It just spoke, and it spoke to me. So now I'm here this morning with y'all, talking to y'all. We're about to be 2 minutes into this live. All right. Let's begin before we get into the subject. Let's go ahead. So we're gonna start off like, let me tell you. In the Bible, right? It says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing." I say that again. In the Bible, it says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing." It's the same thing, though, when it comes down to the other party as well. She who finds a husband finds a good thing. See, the thing about it is, a lot of times in marriage, we believe that that our marriage is okay. A lot of times when we're married to somebody, or you're just getting into marriage, right? You're just getting into marriage, you've been with somebody for a long time. You believe that everything is okay in your marriage, or you've been married to somebody for so long that you're used to a certain way of your relationship going. If arguments is regular, you're used to arguments. You know what I'm saying? You're not looking to improve the problem because you're like, oh well, I mean that's just how my marriage is, or whatever, because you're used to being in that type of situation. If you're new to marriage, you're looking at it like, marriages go through ups and downs. So this is just a part of trying to learn my partner. This is just me trying to figure out my partner. So in different kind of ways, we get used to the familiar. That's what I'm gonna call it. That's the word I'm gonna stick to for this part. The familiar. You get used to the familiar. It becomes way too familiar to you. So you don't do nothing to try to get better at your marriage. You don't do nothing to try to improve your marriage because you're used to going through the same thing over and over again. You know, a lot of times there's different kind of things that causes problems in the marriage. Communication is one. Communication is one of the key factors that causes troubles in marriages, period. Um, Trust is another issue that causes problems in marriages. Um, Respect is another thing as well. A matter of respect plays a big key in that. But also, let me tell you another reason why there's problems in marriage. Because here it is. I'm gonna let y'all know. Because we don't put God as the center of our foundation. I'm gonna say that one more time to y'all. And you're gonna hear me repeat myself a couple times through this live. You don't put God as the center of your foundation. When you don't put God as the center of your foundation, there's too much room for destruction. And then there's too much room for, as I said just a minute ago, the familiar in your marriage. You don't want to live your life or live or go through your marriage dealing with the familiar because you don't have God at the center of your foundation, or you don't want to go through your marriage having all these other issues because you don't have God at the center of your foundation. Let me tell you something. The thing about us, let me start speaking from my perspective as a man, because I'm gonna speak from my perspective as a man, because I'm a man. I can only give y'all my testimony or speak from my perspective of who I am. That's my best way to be honest with y'all. I'm always straight with y'all for those that know conscious. As a man, good morning, Ghetto Flower, good morning. As a man, us as men sometimes we become too egotistic. And the reason why we become too egotistic is because the thing about it is sometimes we think that when we do something wrong, that at the end of the day we're just going to be forgiven. Sometimes us as men, we just assume, oh, she'll get over it sometimes, or it's not that bad of an issue. It could be the smallest thing that we upset our wife about, and at the end of the day we will sit there and be like, she'll get past it, she'll get over it. But what we're not realizing as men sometimes is even the smallest creases or the smallest dents that we put into our marriage is causing long-term division in our marriage. Causing our partner to distance themselves from us. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not realizing that as we're doing these little things and we're not accepting responsibility, we're losing our partner as well. See, as a man, sometimes we think, we look at it like, you know what, I'm just gonna say a couple good words to her and at the end of the day she'll get past it. We look at that sometimes as a way that that to let the situation go. Sometimes we look at it like, oh, I'm just gonna do this, or I'm gonna buy her some roses and she'll get past it. She's not gonna trip on me no more. No, this is where we're going wrong as men. We're sitting there and thinking that materialistic things or certain words can fix everything or fix the problem, and not realizing that there's a bigger issue. That issue is so big, even if it seems so small, that these things are the wrong way to fix it. The way to fix our marriages, men, I'm speaking from a man's perspective again, I'm speaking on the men's behalf. The way to fix our marriage, man, is you have to put in the work. It's okay, yes, it's okay to go buy roses if you want to apologize. It's okay to go and say certain words if you want to fix it. But after you do those things, you have to be willing to put in the work in your marriage to do some healing to get past that. You have to go back and think about what you did wrong and try to figure out, how can I fix this? You have to think about what you did wrong. You have to talk to your partner, ask them, what did you do wrong? But it starts with saying, sweetheart, or honey, whatever you call your wife, babe, boo, or nickname, whatever. It starts by saying that, I'm sorry. I apologize. And when you say I'm sorry, you don't just go and say I'm sorry. Don't just go and be like, I'm sorry, babe, or I'm sorry, this. No, when you go and say sorry, you have to mean what you say. When you're going and apologizing, you need to mean what you say. Because once you say these things to your partner is going to look and see if you stand on those actions. But like I said, it starts with responsibility. Now, going past responsibility into the next part of it, you have to be willing to pray. Because, see, the thing about it is, after you make these mistakes, the devil's going to try to come in and use you as a man. He's going to try to come in and find ways to use your weakness to try to destroy your marriage or destroy your home. Because what a lot of wives, a lot of women don't understand is y'all are wonderful. And let me tell you this, women. Women, I salute you, and y'all are very wonderful, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because y'all play a big pivotal role, whether y'all see it or not, or whether some of y'all understand or not. Y'all play a pivotal role, especially in marriage, on keeping us men on track. Y'all play a big pivotal role in keeping us men out of trouble. Some of us come from different backgrounds, from broken homes. Some of us come from, low income areas with his crime. We grew up around certain things, or we did certain things growing up, or some of us come into the relationship with a different type of mentality. Either way, y'all play a big key factor in keeping us together and keeping us happy. So I salute y'all women for doing that. But like I said, men, again, let me get back to it. You have to use God as the center of your foundation, because the devil will use those things to attack. He will use it. He'll be like, oh, okay, well, he just apologized to his wife. I can use this. You know what I'm saying? Or he just said this. I can use this, because at the time he will sit there and be like, okay, well, she think things are good, and I know that I can get him to mess up again. So you have to pray so that God, and ask God, God, what can I do? What can I do? I'm lost right now. I want to be a better husband. I know that I'm slipping up. I know that I'm doing wrong. I need your help, God. Help to protect my relationship. Help protect my marriage. I want to do better. I need your help to guide me, to show me how to be a better husband so I can love my wife better. I don't want to lose my wife, and I don't want to mess up my home. When you say those things, God comes and he gives you direction. He helps you to heal. Let me tell y'all something. Marriages always go through ups and downs. Even no matter what. You're not when people get married sometimes, the thing about it is everybody wants to get married. There's a lot of people who grow up, they see these movies, they see all these different things. Sometimes they see their parents, they see different things, and they always get this image of, I want to be married. I want to become that. But a lot of people don't understand what comes with marriage. They look at things like they look at things like it's supposed to be just always happiness, or it's supposed to be this and that, or when it goes through the and then people also look at it like the ups and downs is just something small, but there's nothing to it. They have this vision of, everybody has their own different vision of what marriage is, but most people visions of marriage is easy. You know what I'm saying? The reason why people think marriage is easy is because when they see these other couples, or when they seen these other movies growing up, or when they seen all these things, it's like they're seeing the outside of it. They're seeing the beauty of it. That's the outside. This is the front that people put on when they go out in public. This is the thing about movies. Movies ain't always real. You know what I'm saying? Some are, some aren't. But and then situations ain't always real, because you don't get to see that. You know what I'm saying? So you don't get to see the negative. So you think, oh, marriage is beautiful. Boom. Then when you get into it, you're like, wow, I didn't know it was like that. Wow, I didn't expect this. Or you start to complain. Let me tell you something. What people need to understand, for those who are trying to get married, what you have to understand is marriage is not perfect. For those of you that are married, y'all know, but I'm gonna talk to you anyway. Marriage is not perfect. Marriage takes work. When you're married to somebody, you have to be willing to go through the ups and downs. You have to be willing to put in the work. If you're having problems, to fix it. You have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to be willing to understand one another. Every day that you go through with your partner is work. Nothing is going to be easy. But if you love somebody, if that's the partner that God set for you, you have to understand that it's worth fighting for. And you have to be willing to fight to keep that strong bond. You have to be willing to fight to grow as a married couple. Understand that it's not easy. Let's see. Ghetto Flower said, "I'm praying for a husband, but to keep it real, it terrifies me a bit. If it's God's plan for my life, I will meet my best friend soon." Yes, yes. Marriage can sometimes be terrifying on the thought of having a partner. But if God sends you a partner, if you're willing to wait, and that's good that you're willing to wait. If God sends you a partner, God is going to send you the right partner. God don't make no mistakes. That's why it's important to wait and pray. If you're praying and you're waiting, the person that comes to you is going to be who God sent to you. But you have to be willing to wait. When God brings them in your life, they bring them in your life for a reason. There's always a reason that God brings that person to you. That's why that person doesn't always come right away. Like I said, God doesn't always do things when you want him to do it. He does things when you need him to do it. When you get your partner, You just, like I said, gotta be willing to put in the work and you grow. So yes, you will, you will meet your best friend soon. I had to wait a while before I met my wife. It wasn't easy. Patience is key. That's definitely a requirement. Let me get back into it. Like I said, marriage is work. Marriage is work. Ain't nothing about it easy. You have to understand that you have to go through a lot of different processes to see for your marriage to be in a great place and for it to stay in a great place. You're going to go through different things. You're going to knock down different doors, but you have to be willing to put in the work. But also, while being willing to put in the work and going through these situations, you have to have God as the center of your foundation. Because if you're married and you're not putting using God as the center of your foundation, the devil will come in and he will try to destroy your marriage. And a lot of times when you're doing things like you're arguing, you're not on the same page. You're not listening to your partner when y'all talking. I'm not talking about arguing. I'm talking about not listening. You're not listening to your partner when you're talking. Y'all not hugging each other no more. Y'all not, making love no more. Y'all not doing things together no more. Y'all acting like y'all strangers in the same home. A lot of these times when we go through these things, it becomes too familiar. You don't look at the signs and think something is wrong. Sometimes one of the other partner is not looking at something is causing this. We wasn't like this in the beginning. See, when things get like that, y'all start to think, oh, I'm getting tired of this. I don't want nothing to do with my marriage. I'm sick of the fact that I can't communicate with my partner. I'm tired of my partner not touching me. I'm tired of the fact that my partner want to yell at me. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of arguing over this. I'm tired of arguing over that. People go through that and they be so quick to do what? Run. Be quick to run. Y'all be so quick to run. Why are you so quick to run? This ain't no track. This ain't no track. You ain't on the track team. You didn't get married to get on the track team. You didn't. You got married to grow with somebody who genuinely cares about you. You got married to be with somebody that understands you. You got married to build a life with somebody that wanted the same thing out of life that you wanted and to be happy. That's what you got married for. This ain't no track and field. So every time something gets bad, y'all get tired. Y'all get tired of going through it. Y'all quit to run. Y'all just run. Y'all be like, you know what? I don't want no parts of this. Y'all go to work and then here's where things get twisted at. Now follow me as I'm saying this. Just follow me, hear me out. Here's where things get twisted at. Y'all going through these problems, so y'all go to work. Let's see, women. Sometimes a man might be at work. Y'all might think he look good. Women got hormones, women got thoughts and everything, just like men do. So y'all see a man at work, all of a sudden y'all thinking, he look good. Boom, boom, boom. or and that man, he starts to give you nice comments. You're so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you look hurt right now. You want to talk about it? I'm here for you. I'm a listening ear. And he constantly keeps coming at you with these things because he can sense that something is wrong. And now, does he sense that something is wrong because he really wants to see you happy? Does he sense that something is wrong because he really wants to help? No, he does not. That's the devil sending him. That is a demon. You know why? Because he's going to use the power of lust to drain your marriage. See, the devil knows something went wrong, so he sent this person to destroy. See, the devil doesn't always destroy right in front of you. Sometimes in your home, he goes outside of your home and he finds different people or different things that he can use to do that, especially when you're married. So he sends somebody, and this man is saying all these good things, so this woman isn't getting this kind of attention because women love attention. Men, as husbands, we have to understand, I don't care how rough your marriage is, still acknowledge your woman, still love your woman, still call her beautiful. I don't care if y'all going through it. I don't care if you're still angry, still acknowledge a woman, because women need to know that they're loved and appreciated. You have to make sure of that, so that they understand no matter how bad things get, that you will always be there for them, that you're always going to love them, so that when these type of situations happen, when they go to work and the devil send these demons to attack, to try to get her attention, to try to take her from you, she could think like, you know what, it's not worth ruining my home for. It's not worth it, because I know my husband love me. Yeah, things are rough, but at the end of the day, nobody gonna love me like my partner. You have to understand that. So men, get it together when it comes down to that. We have to learn how to do better. But like I said, go through these things. The devil tries to use these demons, use the power of lust to drain you. So now all of a sudden, this man gets your attention. You're talking to him, you're telling him that you're feeling better about yourself, and then it turns into something else. So now you start to mess with him. So you're no longer messing with your husband, okay? You're no longer, as soon as you choose to allow this demon to become a part of you, they get attached into your soul. People gotta understand. I've said this before in these lives. Soul ties are real. When you sit there and sleep with somebody else, see, when you're married, y'all share a special bond. That's exactly why when something is going wrong, when you're not around your partner, you can feel something ain't right. Something ain't right. Something's going on with your partner. That's why you pick up the phone and you call them. That's a soul tie. When y'all sitting there, y'all talking, y'all thinking the same thing. Y'all might say something at the same time. That's a soul tie. Sometimes y'all could be sitting in the same room and then no words have to be said while y'all in front of company because y'all can feel what each other feel or y'all thinking what each other think because that's a soul tie. Y'all love for each other is strong. That's a soul tie. Every time that y'all, make love and everything, y'all creating a soul tie. Y'all bonding, y'all getting stronger. When y'all talk, that's a soul tie. Okay, so there's a lot of ways that you have soul ties in your marriage to your partner. So when you sit there and you sleep with this other person that the devil sent and this demon that the devil sent, you end up creating damage to your soul tie with your partner. So now your partner and you no longer have this strong soul tie. Now you belong to them over here. Now you done gave them some energy over here. So it's like you now all of a sudden you're acting different, you're moving different, you're talking different. You and your partner, y'all don't know how to communicate at home no more. It was already bad before, but it done gotten worse now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't understand what to do. There is no fixing it. Because once you sat there and gave your soul to somebody else, now the devil can use you too. He can use you too. Not just to damage your marriage, but to damage yourself. That's why y'all gotta understand soul ties are real. You have to be careful who you sleep with. When you're sleeping over here with this person, you're taking in their demons. You're taking in their problems that they brought, their problems that they had before. So you're doing that, and you're losing the bond and the positivity and the good spirit that you had at home. All because things are going wrong. But see, when you pray and you put God as the center of your foundation and your marriage, there's nothing that God cannot do for your marriage. When you get in a situation and you see this demon comes to you and he's all acting nice. Oh, I hear you. I want to be here for you. Oh, what's wrong at home? You look like you're down. Oh, blah, blah, blah. When he comes with that, God can tell you, no, back away. Or or you never know, he might send an angel, and an angel might give you a flashback of your husband or something good that your husband did. It might take you back to the day of your wedding day. You might have a quick flashback to the day of your wedding day when you got married. And remember, wow, like there's a reason why I'm with my husband. Or husbands and men, women do it too. The devil send demons, and when it come down to women, same thing. You might be sitting there thinking, she look good, and she doing the same thing that demon that was in that man is doing, and she's trying to get you. But then God might give you a flashback, and you all of a sudden remember, wow, I remember when I was down and out, my wife was there for me when nobody else was. A quick flashback and that reminder. You might think when these demons are coming or when they're trying to talk to you, you know what? It ain't even worth it. I'm not going to sit here and listen to this. So you might, when they be like, what's wrong? You be like, I'm good. And when you say you good, you mean business. You know what I'm saying? You're not feeding into the fact that they're trying to get your attention. You're not worried about that. You might be like, you know what? I got work to do. So if you'll excuse me, I'd like to get back to work. Leave me alone. I don't want to be bothered. That's God creating that shield. See, that little memory or that quick flashback that he gave you just saved you from doing something that you're going to regret for the longest. That's going to destroy your home and destroy your marriage even more. And then after God does that, he starts to give you what we call direction. What do I mean by direction? What you mean, conscious? What do you mean he gives you direction? What I mean by God gives you direction is he starts to help you to understand the steps that you need to take to help improve your marriage. So when you're going home, you might say, you know what? I apologize, and you really mean it. And as you do that, you're going to say, you know what? I know what I did wrong. And you admit it. And your partner looking at you like, wow, like, where's this person come from? That's God right there helping to work on you. Because, man, you done took the first step. You have not only did you admit what you did wrong, but you said you know where you went wrong by explaining it. That shows your wife that you're serious. That shows that you mean business and that you understand. And then you start to take the next couple steps. You never know. You might tell your partner, you know what, honey, let's start praying together. See, when you pray together, and a lot of people don't understand this, but when you get married, you are one. You are one. You're tied in like this. Y'all are one, like a whole body. Okay, you're like, how can I explain it? You're like a body with a heart, okay? You cannot operate the body without the heart. You just can't. The body, there will be no life without the heart. Because how do you breathe oxygen? You need the heart to breathe. So you're one. You need each other. You become one. Y'all tied in. So when you sit there and pray, it's the same thing. You're one. So when you pray together, you're strong together. There's nothing that could come in and destroy, because when you pray together every single day, you ask God for direction. Y'all grow. Y'all become better. Not only do you grow and become better, but you also find ways to prevent things from coming in to destroy. You also find a shield, which is a safe haven to protect your marriage, because of the simple fact that you ask God for direction, not just as a person, but as a united front. And God can help both of y'all to be powerful and to destroy anybody that tries to come in and does any harm, no matter if it's demons or anybody else. God helps you to do that. God gives you the tools that you need to try to fix your marriage. God will help you to understand how you can conquer your marriage. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all, those of y'all that know conscious, and those of y'all that know me from seeing me on some of these lives, when I take over from my wife, y'all know I'm very open about my life. I don't hide nothing. I don't fake or front for the camera. I'm very open and honest about a lot of things, sometimes including in my marriage. So let me tell y'all, just recently I went away, right? Because my wife and I, we was going through a little disagreement or whatnot. So I got away for a day, okay? Just for us to take a break, breathe, and for me to get my thoughts together, okay? While my wife was gone, while I was gone, my wife was very, very upset at me because of the fact that this day turned into 2 days, okay? My wife was upset at me because of the simple fact that I was gone. And she was telling me all these different things that she was upset about, and then she was upset at me about. And I took offense to it, because I'm like, I know that it wasn't intentional, because I'm like, you said some things too, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were just sitting there having a mild disagreement, and I'm thinking to myself about the things that my wife said, or the things that we said to each other, and I'm lost. I'm somewhat getting upset. Now, this is just me. I'm somewhat getting upset, and I'm just sitting there like, man, she don't know what, she don't know what she talking about, because in the end of the day, I know it wasn't really that deep as she took it, and I know in the end of the day, she's not trying to hear me out, and this, that, the third, you know what I'm saying? But then I sat down and I had a conversation. I said, you know what, God, I don't know what to do as a husband to try to improve the situation. I need your help. You know what I'm saying? And God had given me direction, because as this was going on, he sat there and helped me to think back to some of the times when we first got married, some of the times, some of the things that we went through before we got married. Like I said, I can only give y'all my testimony and be honest with y'all. I ain't get this out of a book or nothing. This is my truth. I'm being open with y'all about my own marriage right now, because I want to help others. I'm here to help y'all. Just like my wife is here to help y'all. But like I said, let me continue on with the story. I started to think about things that we went through that were good before we got married. These thoughts helped me to get myself together and realize that even though I know that what I did and what I said to her wasn't that big of an issue, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, it's okay to somewhat take responsibility. It's okay to sit there and say I played a part. It's okay to sit there and try to find a way to have a positive resolution in my marriage than to sit there and keep on fighting about it, or sitting there and making it seem like my wife is the issue and I'm not, or try to make it seem like the issue is more bigger than what it is. So here's what I did. After God had touched me, I told my friend, I said, I want to go home. My friend said, you want to go home? Yes, I want to go home. When I came home to my wife and I have, and I think my wife spoke about this yesterday. Y'all can go back and watch that live that she did yesterday as well. But I think my wife spoke about this too. We have what we call a war room. We call our bedroom, the war room. We call our bedroom the war room because this is our safe haven. This is where we go to talk about our problems. This is where we come and we pray together. This is where we put God first. This is where we make love. This is just our safe place that nobody can touch. We don't. If we was to have company over here, nobody is even allowed near that door. You can't even knock on the door if you're company. We don't want nothing negative going near the war room. So the war room, we call it the war room because this is where we come to address what is wrong in our marriage. And we do this sometimes on a day-to-day basis, even when things are good. We talk in that room about what we could do to make things better. But anyway, when I came home, I said, you know what? The kids were our daughter was there. She was watching TV, and I said, sweetheart. She said, yes. I said, listen, I need to talk to you, and I need to talk to you now. She said, right now? I said, yes, right now. So what we did was we gave our daughter some snacks. She wanted to watch her show, so we let her continue watching her show. And I said, we need to go in the war room right now. So my wife and I came into the war room. We went into the war room. I see I see you with your negative comments, but we're not gonna focus on that. That's just the devil trying to come in. We're not worried about that. So my wife and I, we went into the war room and we sat down. We had a discussion, and I said, "Honey," she said, "Yes." I said, "Babe, I'm so sorry." And she said, what you mean? Like, what are you saying?" I said, "I'm sorry. I'm apologizing because of the simple fact that I was wrong." See, negative comments. Not worried about. We're not worried about that. I said, "I apologize because I was wrong." I said, I said I was wrong because of how I went about the situation. Although I know that the situation wasn't that big, I should have took responsibility for what I did. I have to be more caring about your feelings. I have to respect your feelings at the same time, and I have to understand that you're not always going to agree with the way that I do things, and I'm not always going to agree with the way that you do things. But I'm sorry because of that little situation. It allowed it to get so big. And I told her, I said, I talked to God, and God told me to come home and fix it. God made me realize how much you mean to me, and I was wrong. See, I know I can go home to my wife. I know me and my wife lay down to each other every day. I married her. We're spending the rest of our life together. But at the same time, when I'm away or when I go through situations with my wife, it hurts. It burns, okay? It hurts. And by God showing me those things, he said, go home. God gave me a direction and told me to go home. He knew I didn't need another hour. I didn't need another second. Go home right now. And I told her, even though I know that things sometimes can be fixed at home, sometimes you have to go out and get a breath sometimes, even if that means driving and just driving and coming back home after you done went and drove to clear your head. If you play men, if you like playing games, if you stay in the house, play the game system, whatever you got to do to clear your head until you're ready to talk, you do that. But like I said, I apologized to my wife, and I told her I was sorry, and I told her, God told me that I was wrong. And like I said, I told her about how I had thoughts about our marriage and everything. And my wife said to me, this is what my wife said to me. My wife said, let's see all this negative stuff. My wife said to me, she said, babe, it's okay. I forgive you. She said, you know what? I was wrong. I was wrong as well for not hearing you out as my husband. See, like I said, sometimes we get on this camera. With me and my wife, y'all see us together. Sometimes we get on this camera. Y'all think everything is great. You know what I'm saying? But my wife and I, we go through issues and ups and downs just like y'all do. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing is, and the best thing about our marriage is we find our way back to each other. We always find another way to grow because we have God as the center of our foundation. This is what a lot of y'all have to realize. You have to have God as the center of your foundation and your marriage, or it doesn't matter what you're going through. Keeping your marriage on track is going to be hard. Your marriage will sink faster than it will grow. It's almost like being on a boat and you know that you're not or being or yeah, I'm gonna say okay, being on a boat, or we're gonna say okay, going and you're trying to carry some things. You're trying to carry things, right? So you can only carry a certain amount of weight. If you're carrying certain things, you can only carry a certain amount of weight. Maybe you carrying something to get to your house or whatever, or you're carrying something up the street or whatever. When you carrying certain things, you can only carry a certain amount of weight. If you don't have God as the center of your foundation, there's going to be more and more weights put on you. So as you're carrying these weights, as you're trying to carry this to your house or whatever it may be, I'm just using this as an example. As you're carrying this bag to your house and more weights getting put on there, you're getting to a point like, I can't even make it to the house. And then you really don't make it because then the thing sinks and you start to fall. You will fall if you don't have God as a center. The devil needs Betsy. Negativity. We ain't worried about you, devil. We ain't worried about you. We ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of you, devil. I ain't scared of you. Keep sending your followers and all that on this channel because you don't want me to get this word out. I'm not scared of you. I'm gonna let you know that right now. We're gonna touch people today, and people gonna grow, and they're gonna get rid of you if you're trying to destroy their marriage. I'm not worried about these people that coming on this channel saying these negative things for the devil. But like I said, you have to have God as the center of your foundation. Otherwise, it will sink. And you do not want to let your marriage sink because that might be the biggest mistake of your life. Because he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Same thing for a woman. A woman who finds a husband finds a good thing. Because if God sent them to you, it's for a reason. God don't make no mistakes. God don't make no mistakes at all. So if God sent this person to you for a reason and you let them go, then you're causing room to destroy yourself because God sent them for a reason. So if you allow this person to go, or they go, or you don't try to put in the work to fix the person that God gave you, then guess what? That gives the devil room to seek and destroy. I'm gonna tell you again, it gives the devil room to seek and destroy. Some of y'all might think that doesn't make any sense. Yes, it makes plenty of sense. Because if God gave you a partner, it was for a reason in your life. It don't matter. Nobody is perfect. We are not perfect. We all come from different backgrounds, different situations. We all got different mentalities and different types of personalities and attitudes. So you have to learn to put up with it. If you married them, you said, okay, God, that's who you set for me. When you got married, you chose to accept whatever comes with this person that you married. You know who you're marrying because you knew what you got yourself into. Because there was a reason. You trusted God to give you this partner because you prayed for them. So when God gives it to you, you willing to go through the ups and downs. So when you sit there and you go through this, your partner is put in your life for a reason. It doesn't matter if the reason was to try to help you to grow. It doesn't matter if the reason was to try to help you to be a better person, to keep you calm, because nobody can keep you calm, but this person keeps you calm. It doesn't matter if the reason was to build a family and for your kids to grow up and do great things. There's always a reason why God brings a partner into your life. And when you sit there and you allow the devil to come in and destroy and get rid of this person, then you allow him to come in and destroy you. I'm gonna say that again. You allow him to come in and destroy you because when you lose your partner that God sent for you, you're no longer the same. You're no longer the same. A lot of things about you change because the reason, like I said, God sent that person to you for a reason. So now that you don't have this person in your life, you no longer have nobody to keep you under control, who understands you. You no longer have nobody who can give you guidance on how to grow and build a business and be successful. You no longer have this person. Whatever reason that God sent them for you, you no longer are able to do these things through whatever God was trying to do because you allowed them to lead because you were quick to run. Again, you were quick to try to be on a track team. You cannot. You have to be willing to ask God to help because God brought them to you. So only God knows how to fix it and what you need to do to be more happy and get this and to build something and get on track with this person. Only God can help you because God sent them. Nobody else can. So instead of running, instead of always sitting there complaining and going through the, oh, he ain't listening, she ain't listening, blah, blah, blah. Instead of that, trust God. Ask for help. Ask for guidance. Allow God to fix your marriage. Like I said, when me and my wife go through things, we trust God to get us through that. And that's what I love about my wife. We can go through the ups and downs right now. We don't have to be on the same page. We can be mad at each other for today and wake up tomorrow, even if we're not around each other tomorrow. But God will bring us back together. And we allow God, we trust him to get us back on track. And we find our way back to each other and we fix our marriage. We're not leaving each other. We said it from the beginning. When we said I do, we meant this when we came in. Me and my wife ain't always on the same page, but we find a way to make it work and come and understand each other so we can be on the same page. That's what love is all about. It's not about always being perfect. I was told by somebody that what real marriage mean is, and this is how you know when your marriage is real and when you really love somebody. It's when you can sit there and you wake up and sometimes you look at that person, you're like, I can't stand that person, or you wake up and you upset at that person, or you go through the ups and downs of that person, but at the end of the day, you're still with that person. You still love that person. You still wanting to put in work. That's how you know when you really are in love. That's how you know if you really found what is right for you. I was told that's what real marriage is about. You know you're in marriage when you go through that phase. What I'm trying to tell y'all is, it's people who's been married for a long time. Y'all see y'all grandparents be like, wow, my grandparents been married for 36 years. They're so in love. They still look at each other like as if they was their first time seeing each other. You wonder why. They love each other. They're not going to tell you, oh, we went through this hard time. We went through that hard time. We did this. It was this time when they're not going to tell you about all those times. But understand that your grandparents stayed together as long as they did, because I'm pretty sure they had God somewhere in that foundation. Your grandparents stay together as long as they did because they were willing to put in the work. No matter how many times they merged was going down, they always found a way to go back up. You have to be willing to put the work in your marriage. You have to be. I'm gonna read some of these comments because I always communicate with y'all. Okay, let's see here before we get back into it. Let's see. Um, Latrell said, yes, I definitely agree. It's not always good to run away from problems. It's different when both comes from different lifestyles. You have to learn to communicate effectively. Exactly. Ezekiel 25, verse 17, right? What came first, the chicken or the egg? See, ignorant comments. We're not worried about that. We're not worried about y'all. That's the devil. We ain't worried about y'all. Hey, how is it going, man? I'm okay. Thank you for asking. I'm all right. Thank you. Hi, how you doing? Latrell said, that's real. Yes, marriage is ministry. Exactly. Okay, let me go down to the last few comments. That had to be hard when you have not been apart in so long. Thank God for his love for us to heal broken hearts and bring his a gap love. Yes, that was Ghetto Flower who said that. I'll get into that in a second. Do you answer questions? Yes, I answer questions. If the question is positivity, I'm more than willing to hear y'all out on this live. You can always ask me a question. I'll talk back to you. Yes. Yes, God make the center of your relationship. Yes, God is. Joseph said praise. Okay. Now I saw some ghetto flower said that it must have been hard for me to be away from my wife. It was hard. It was hard. Like I told y'all, I took a day away from my wife. Let me tell you, I love my wife. I love my wife. We go through ups and downs sometimes, but my wife is my everything. My wife has been there for me when nobody else was. My wife is my best friend. I tell her all the time, you're my best friend. You're my best friend. You get me when nobody else does. My wife make me smile when I'm upset. When I'm feeling down, I'm about to cry. My wife uplifts me. My wife always makes me feel good about myself. She motivates me. You see I'm on this live right now. My wife asked me yesterday, can you get on live and talk? I'm not really feeling well. I told her, yes, I can. Just let me ask God what he want me to talk about first. And when he gives me what to talk about in my sleep or when I wake up, I will go and do it. My wife pushes me to do things. She gives me confidence when I don't have confidence in myself. She makes me believe in myself. My wife saved me and helped me get on track and be more spiritual and get away from negativity. You know what I'm saying? Even when I have negative thoughts, my wife is there. So yes, I love my wife to death. I love my wife with everything in me. So when I'm away from my wife, I'm used to being with my wife all the time. Like I said, that's my best friend. Sometimes I do go out with my friends or whatever, but I come back home within a couple of hours. Just like she go out sometimes. But I've never been away from my wife for a while. You know what I'm saying? So when I was gone and this time happened or whatnot, I missed my wife. Believe me when I say that I wanted to speed home. You know what I'm saying? It was hard. But I had to get my thoughts together. I could not. That's exactly why I left. I could not come back home. Because if I would have came right home, even though I missed my wife, if I would have came straight back home a couple of hours later, would have came back home with that anger, it wouldn't have did nothing but had us crashing again and arguing again and back where we started. So I had to take that little bit of that day away from her to get my thoughts together. And God helped me to get on track. And it was hard. It took everything in me not to come back home right away. But I did once I got my thoughts together. So yes, Ghetto Flower, it's not easy, but God can always keep you on track. Like I said, God has to be the center of your marriage. But like I tell y'all, marriage is work. Marriage is work. You have to, when things are going wrong, I don't care who it is, man or woman. This applies to both who are married. When things are going wrong in your marriage, you have to, if you're making a mistake, be willing to admit to your mistakes. A lot of times we allow egos to be the destruction of our relationship. We allow egos to be the grower of our problems because we're too egotistic to say, you know what? I might have did too much, and I might have been the cause of that problem. Or we're too egotistic to say, you know what, I was wrong. I need to apologize. We be sitting around like, I don't need to apologize. They owe me an apology. Or like we're looking at it from the wrong direction. Because when we're going through these things in our marriage, we're fighting the wrong enemy. We're sitting there attacking our partner and looking at the wrong direction. You're going back and forth. You're doing this and that. When you realize you're fighting the wrong enemy, you're supposed to be fighting against the devil. You're supposed to be fighting against these demons or all these negative people who have something to say about your marriage. You're supposed to be fighting against them, not against each other. You're fighting the wrong battle. You're fighting against the wrong person. The person that you're at home with is a person who you're supposed to love and grow with. So we do not allow your ego to be the destruction or the creator of more of your problems. Then on top of the ego situation, we sit there and we think that we got it all figured out. Because, well, again, like I said in the beginning, we become too okay with the familiar. If you're used to coming in the house and your wife making you're used to coming home and your wife usually got your food ready by 6 o'clock. That becomes familiar. You become understanding of that. If you're used to your wife having telling you something about the weekend, y'all might have weekend activities, y'all might have it planned for a certain day, you're used to that. So when you're going through certain things in your marriage, it becomes familiar. It becomes familiar. Certain directions, certain ways in your marriage, whether it's the way that you move, whether it's your schedule or the things that y'all talk about, it becomes familiar. Laying down with this person after the kids go to bed at a certain time, you lay down with your partner so y'all can get up the next morning at a certain time. That becomes familiar because it becomes regular. Making sure the kids are in bed by this time, that becomes familiar, that becomes regular. A lot of things become familiar in your marriage. You get used to the familiar. So when you go through problems, you are so used to sometimes going through ups and downs that when you go through ups and downs, you're used to being like, oh yeah, that's just how my marriage is. Sometimes we're good, sometimes things are going good, and then later on, it's like sometimes things are bad. See, here we go with the devilish things. Bro, is you bugging? I'm not bugging. No, I'm not bugging. I'm being real. Don't look at me and think that I'm bugging just because I'm trying to help somebody. Why? Are you okay? You need to ask yourself, are you okay? Go home and maybe watch this live and try to fix your marriage. I'm not scared of you. You's a demon. I'm not worried about you neither. Because I'm going to get this word out. Like I said, you become familiar. You become too okay with the familiar. When you become okay with the familiar, you like, oh, my marriage, I'm used to my marriage going through ups and downs. I'm used to it being this way. Instead of saying, I want better for my marriage. And I know that we can be better than this. We shouldn't have to argue every 3 to 4 days. It shouldn't be every 2 days that we're arguing. I know we can be better than this. Oh, my partner, we don't listen to each other. I know that there's a better way around this. I know that we're not communicating, or sometimes that we don't communicate. I know there's a better way around this. You have to want better for your marriage. Stop being okay with the familiar. Stop sitting there and just accepting things and just taking it and taking it and taking it and taking it and allowing the devil to confuse you and think that that's the way to go. Because there's always a better way to grow with somebody that you love. You have to ask God how to do it. You have to be willing to put in the work to do it. When you put in the work, things get better. Yes, you're still going to have your downs, but you're not going to have them as much as you had them before. Maybe y'all was arguing every 3 to 4 days. Now, instead of y'all arguing every 3 to 4 days, y'all only argue once a month. Once a month, or maybe y'all don't argue at all through the month. Maybe y'all have a good month, and the next month you argue once. But the point I'm trying to make to you is things don't always be as bad when you put in the work. You fix things so that it can be more positivity. Y'all communication gets better. Y'all growth gets better, and then and then you will see as time go along that y'all so used to having these. Y'all so used to when y'all talk to God, God helps, and He continues to help you to grow, and you will start to see that time will pass. You know what I'm saying? Before you know it, it's been a year you've been married. It's been 5 years you've been married. It's been 10 and y'all still going strong. And then people are asking, and like 20 years later, people are like, wow, y'all been together for 20 years. How did y'all do it? And you're going to look back and you're going to think back to those times when you're like, you know what? I remember if it wasn't for God, we couldn't have made it to these 20 years. You're going to think back like, wow, it's been 20 years. Wow, God is still blessing us, ain't it? And you were able to help others and give them the tools and tell them God did this for us so that they can know that when they get married, they need God as the center of their foundation. They have to put in the work. I'm being real with y'all. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. I'm just being honest with y'all. I'm being open with y'all about that. I'm being real. I'm just keeping it a stack with y'all because in the end of the day, I understand because I'm married, okay? I know that sometimes you're not always going to like what your wife says to you. Sometimes you're not always going to like the things that you're going to go through with your wife. But you have to be willing to do things to make sure that you keep your home happy. You know what they say, happy wife, happy life. You have to be willing to make your wife happy. Your wife has to be willing to make you happy. Y'all have to follow guidelines where y'all work with each other. You know, sometimes my wife, when it come down to watch a movie, she want to watch certain things. I'm not even into the type of stuff that she want to watch sometimes. She sometimes want to watch sometimes church movies. Sometimes she want to watch lovey-dovey movies. I'm not always into the whole, lovey-dovey-ish romantic thing. I'm always willing to watch a church movie here and there, but I don't do that much. I'm being honest with y'all. I'm still growing as a Christian. You know, I don't always do that much. But when my wife want to do these things, I compromise. I say, okay, babe, if you want to watch that movie, I'm going to watch that with you. Sometimes I like to watch certain type of movies that my wife don't like based on what I've been through because I can only relate to what I've been through because that's my life. So what more better than to watch a movie that's about somewhat about your life because you've done it. You can relate to it. So my wife will be like, I don't want to watch that, but that's not her type of thing. But she say, you know what? I'm gonna sit next to you and I'm gonna watch this movie with you. We come to a compromise. Sometimes when it comes down to food, we don't always agree. I might want to do something in the house. My wife might not want to cook in the house today because we've been cooking for dang near almost through the whole month. She might say, you know what, we got money or we're okay. We're gonna go out, maybe go out for once. Let's go out. We can go somewhere where we don't have to spend a lot of money. Maybe spend $20. That's compromisable for two people. And I'll be like, okay, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? I might don't want to go out. I might feel like you could keep that $20 for another time, but I compromise with my wife. Sometimes she likes to save money and I don't like to save money, but I compromise with my wife. You have to be willing to compromise in your marriage. You have to understand that a key goal to a long time marriage outside of trusting God as your foundation and outside of putting in the work is making sure that your partner is happy. How do you make sure that your partner is happy? By being willing to compromise even when you don't like what is being done. You have to get on the same page with your partner. That's the only way y'all can grow. I'm telling y'all, because I do this in my own marriage with my wife. When my wife come on here and talk about me, you can see the happiness on her face. When my wife go out, everybody can see how happy she is with me. When we're around friends, people can see how happy we are. We stand united as a strong front because I go above and beyond to make my wife happy. Okay? And I always will until the day that God accepts me into those gates. And when God accepts me into those gates, God is going to be pleased. God is going to say, son, you're here with me now. You've done all you can. I am pleased with what you have done. I am pleased because I sent you to Ashley, the chosen one, and you did everything that I wanted you to do. That's why I sent you to her. I'm pleased with what you have done. Welcome here. Welcome to the gates. I'm here. You're here with me now. God's going to accept me. God's going to be happy because I did everything that God wanted me to do as a husband. I was sent to Ashley for a reason. When I go through ups and downs, God allows me to know what to do to fix it. As a man, even ever since we've been married, God has been showing me different things, and I've noticed in our marriage, and I've noticed in her, and she even notices. She is starting to grow more and more. That's why I was sent to my partner. God has sent her to me as well to help me grow more and more. I've changed my life. I'm doing better. I'm more on positive things. I'm growing as a person. I'm learning more about myself. I'm learning more about life. God sent us to each other for a different reason. And God is pleased. And God will be pleased when he takes me off of this earth because he knows that he sent me and I did everything that he sent me to do as a husband. She asked for a husband. God gave her me. Even when she was praying before we got married or before I came back into her life, she asked God to reveal her husband to her. I'm pretty sure some of y'all heard the story aloud when she talked to y'all. She asked God to reveal her husband to her. God said that I was her husband, okay? I asked God at one point in time to reveal to me who I was going to spend my life with. I know y'all kind of like, nah, that sounds crazy. This just sounds like something that you getting out of a book. No, I'm not lying. I'm being real with y'all. This is my testimony. I'm being honest. When I was in the hospital fighting for my life, when I came out that coma and everything, even though my wife was dead, and we was talking. I told her I wasn't so sure if I wanted a relationship. I asked God to show me because I had changed my ways. I was working on changing myself, and I asked God to show me when I was in that hospital who he wanted me to be with. And I said I was willing to wait, even if it took 5 to 10 years for my partner to come. I wanted to do things different. God sent me her. He told me that she was the one for me. We both were told at two different times that we were meant for each other. She was told before I got sick, and I was told after. But eventually, we worked our way into building a bond. We worked our way into growing, and we got married. And here we are. And we are, by being married, helping each other every day. We are growing and becoming more powerful as one. We are doing more things in life together than we ever did before we even came together, because God made that for us. So you have to understand, compromise is a big part of marriage. Even sometimes when you don't like things, you have to be willing to compromise. Happy wife, happy life. Happy husband, happy life. It goes both ways. And y'all got to start to understand. Hold on. Let me read some of these colors before I get deep into this. Get off of here. You agree it takes two to fight for the relationship. If it's only one person trying to make improvements, then that's not one. That's not the one, right? Happy spouse, happy house. Both should be. This was Brittany who said this. Both should be happy. Of course, there needs to be compromise, but at the end of the day, goals need to be on both partners. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I've been saying that since the beginning. You got to grow together. Exactly. God bless everyone. God bless you too, brother. I want to be Christian. How do I revert? Okay, I can answer that in a minute. But like I said, happy wife, happy life, happy husband. You know how it go. It has to be. You have to grow together. And like Brittany said, you have to set goals. There's a lot of different things that come in marriage. A lot of different steps that you have to take if you want to continue to have longevity in your marriage. Okay, so I'm gonna answer this question for you real quick. Maharan Janeth said, "I want to convert to be Christian. How do I convert?" Here's the thing: you don't convert. See, this is where you're seeing it wrong at, Maharan. It's not about converting. It's never a convert when you become a Christian. It's never a certain way that you do it. All you have to do is trust God. Trust God. Ask God for direction. Ask God. Say, God, I want to do better with my life. It starts with you knowing that you're somewhere in your life that you don't want to be. You don't look at it as converting. You look at it like trying to go into a different direction. Look at it like you're walking down a path as if you're walking down the street. You're trying to go somewhere. You ask God. You tell God, I'm not where I want to be, but I want to get on track with my life. I want to be a better person. How do I do it? The fact that you even acknowledge that you're not where you want to be, the fact that you even decided to reach out to God, you know, already started your process to becoming a Christian. You didn't convert into a Christian. You started a God can only do the work. Don't look at it as a conversion. Look at it as God is working on you. That's how you got to look at it. I'm not converting. God is working on me. That's how you look at it. But as long as you trust God, ask God for direction, he will help you. Tell God, I'm not where I want to be. I need help getting on track. I want to do better. I want to walk in your light. I want to do what you put me here to do. How do I do it? It says in the Bible, God will never misguide your footsteps, and God will never leave your side. So that's the steps that you should take into doing that. Okay. Letitia said, good morning, Sis Asma. See how you doing? Good morning, Letitia. Being a Christian, you have to change your ways, repent, and go to church. Amen. Some people don't always can't always go to church, so just repentance is just acknowledging, and praying and talking to God or reading the Bible is different ways that you could do it. Every church isn't for everybody, but those are also different ways you could do it if you don't go to church. Ava and Leah said, yo, hey, God is good. Amen. God is good. You have to change your ways. Amen. Yep. Amen. Amen. Well, let me just tell y'all, because I'm getting ready to get off this live. Letitia, thank you for joining. Even though you came in late, you already know. When we get off these lives, we save these lives. For anybody that came in here late, when we get off these lives, we save these lives. So just definitely go back and watch this live when I get off of here. And definitely click the like button. And if you ain't subscribed to my wife's channel, The Chosen One by Ashley, please subscribe. Go and tell somebody and tell them to subscribe so they can come to this channel. This channel can help them as well. But I'm gonna say this before I get off of live. I'm just gonna let y'all know, marriage is a choice, and what I mean by that, you are the decider of how your marriage turn out. Your marriage can either continue, it can either be a beautiful thing for you or it can be a bad thing for you. But the decision is up to you. It's up to you because you cannot start to have better if you don't acknowledge that there is problems going on in your marriage. You can't ask God for help, and God can't be the center of your foundation if you don't acknowledge where the problem starts. And that goes for men or women. You have to understand the choice of where your marriage is going to head from the time that you say I do. It's up to you. It's either going to be good or it's going to be bad. But the key to understanding how to make sure that stay on track is you have to be willing to trust God. You have to know that you need God. Like I said, it starts with admittance. When things are good, if you want to stay good, you have to know that you need God to keep them good. If things start to go bad, you have to know that you need God to help fix things and help get it on track with your partner. But all that starts with admittance. You have to be willing to admit. I want to thank y'all for joining my live today, joining the live, coming to my wife's channel. For those of y'all who are not subscribed to my wife's channel, I want to thank y'all for coming in and just checking out my wife's channel. If you like this live, please go and subscribe. Check out some more videos on here. Check out some more of these lives that my wife do. My wife does a great job at what she do. This is, again, her channel is The Chosen One by Ashley. Again, her channel is called The Chosen One by Ashley. If you when I get off this live, like, subscribe to my wife's channel. For those of y'all that don't know me, I am conscious. For those of y'all that do know me, I am conscious. I want to thank y'all for tuning into this live and sitting here and listening to me today. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I might come back on here another time if my wife asks me to speak, but my wife gets on here every morning, early in the morning. So definitely make sure that you're subscribed to all. When you subscribe, click that subscribe button, click all so that you know when my wife go live so you can catch these lives when she's on here. Trust God and have a relationship with God. Amen. I hear many couples say they never raise their voices at each other. That's powerful. Thank you for coming on today. We miss hearing from you too. Thank you. Thank you. I'll try to get on here more often. I'll try to get on here more often. I only come on here when God give me something to talk about, when God touches me or when my wife asks me to take over. I always ask God first which direction I need to go, and I'll get on here and talk. But I'll definitely try to get on here more often. Thank you very much. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all have a good day. I'm gone.